Hello, I am Nicolas Raudales, and today I'll be talking about the ones who walk away from Omelas. Now, the story starts off by describing a summer festival in the city of Omelas, and the assumptions an outsider might make upon seeing this. We would think ourselves to be more complex due to our technological advances and modern issues. However, despite the people of Omelas being happy in their rural ways of living, they are not any less complex than modern day individuals. The narrator then goes on to another point of speculation: what technologies are necessary for happiness of those in Omelas. Perhaps cures for diseases or conveniences would be an answer, or perhaps none of those. Happiness is an independent idea and could or cannot be tied to material wants such as convenience. In the modern day, a case could be made for if iPhones are a technology that result in happiness or the opposite. Once again, individual interpretation is brought into the mix. Another main point is when the narrator asks if the happiness of the people in Omelas is believable, and attempts to make it so by adding a tortured child to the city. The happiness of everyone in Omelas relies on the misery and the pain of this child, in which the people justify to themselves in selfish ways. This trade-off is similar to how many countries function in abundance while exploiting other needy countries. In class, it was mentioned that people justify sweatshops to themselves or ignore the issue altogether in order to continue their lifestyles uninterrupted. This type of suffering for the sake of the masses is seen all over the world, which invites the reader of the story to look into themselves for answers. Finally, the narrator adds that some people who see the child in the basement do not follow the usual pattern. Instead, they leave to an unknown place where we can assume children are not tortured for society, and this caused the question in class to be brought up: would you walk away from Omelas? Over 70% of people in class said they would. These people are liars. Look where we live, the countries we exploit, the children that are forced into labor for our wants. We have all this suffering, which I would argue is more than one child per city, and yet I do not see the people in our class making travel plans. We live in a worse version than Omelas, and yet they stay. This is not the first or the last time people will put the nice answer to justify themselves or convince others of their moral high ground. Despite all this talk throughout the classes so far, their actions speak opposite of their words.